Well, this week our spotlight shines on a city known for grand hotels, fine dining, high-end shopping, and the occasional celebrity encounter. Feel like a star as we take you to beautiful Beverly Hills with Lisa Cedillo.
Welcome to this spotlight on the beautiful and rich city of Beverly Hills. Today's first stop, Greystone Mansion. Beverly Hills. It's home to the most famous, wealthy, and powerful people in the world. Its city zip code became a household name in the 90s with the mega hit TV drama Beverly Hills 90210, produced by former resident, the late legendary Aaron Spelling. Merely 6 square miles in size, Beverly Hills is a small town, but for decades has been a must-see destination to tourists traveling to California. Rodeo Drive is one of the most exclusive and celebrated shopping streets ever, and home to famous designer boutiques like Gucci, Armani, Chanel, Valentino, and Christian Dior. The jewelry stores boast names like Cartier and Tiffany. Rodeo also houses the single most expensive store in the world, Bijan. Shopping here is by appointment only, and be ready to spend about $50,000 for a men's suit or $50 for a pair of socks. Ouch. And if your pocketbooks aren't that deep, department stores like Saks Fifth Avenue and Neiman Marcus are nearby. And if you're in the mood for a beauty makeover, be sure to stop in at one of the city's plush salons like Jose Ibert, where the stars come to get their signature looks for Hollywood's biggest events like the Oscars. For 4 decades, Jose Ibert has been one of the most recognizable names in hairstyling. He has created trend-setting hairstyles for the likes of Liz Taylor, Cher, and Farrah Fawcett. And with Emmy season upon us, our very own Heather Dawson got the ultimate Ibert treatment. From her golden locks to this fiery red new look, Heather and her hair are ready to rock any red carpet. Do you come here a lot?
We come here occasionally. We live close by. There's great produce and the flowers are wonderful, and it's just a great thing to do on Sunday mornings.
For a more local flavor, city residents can enjoy the Beverly Hills Farmers Market, open every Sunday, where they sell California's finest home fresh produce.
Since I've been here, it has grown somewhat. We've gotten in more farmers, a few more food vendors. Like I said, we had to move the market 2 years ago, and then I was able to set up the separate organic section, which people really like.
But one of Beverly Hills' best-kept treasures is the famous Greystone Mansion and Estate, to what was once the largest family estate in the history of the city. Welcome to Greystone Mansion. It was billed as a home by the Doheny family back in 1928, but now is owned by the city and open to the public to enjoy its beautiful surroundings all year round. From music in the mansion to high tea on the terrace and concerts in the courtyard, Greystone Park and Estate is a must-see in Beverly Hills. For this spotlight, I'm Lisa Cedillo.
Summer is almost here, which for many means getting out and getting grilling. But if you don't have a grill or you just don't feel like going to all the trouble, Chef Richard Blais, winner of Bravo's Top Chef All-Stars, has come up with some easy recipes that are truly smokin'.
They all have that sort of trendy, beautiful smoke flavor, but none of them force you to spend 2-3 hours outside on the grill.
The key, he says, is adding a little smoked ham, like this one from Boar's Head.
One of the interesting things about this product is the fact that it's flavored with beechwood, which was something, as a chef, I didn't cook with until this project. And beechwood, which is from Europe, Germany specifically for this product, lends a really nice, clean flavor. It doesn't give you a lot of bitter, sort of ashy aftertaste that a lot of heavily smoked foods can.
Blais says it's also extremely versatile.
This is a kale salad. I don't care what people say, kale is still cool. Kale is still on trend. And we have some dates in here, some kale, we have the beechwood smoked ham, some pepper jack cheese, some chickpeas, super healthy salad for dinner dish. One of my kids' favorite foods is fried rice. My kids are eating fried rice 2-3 times a week maybe. One of my favorite dishes as well. Here we've just taken the traditional pork fried rice, replaced the pork with beechwood smoked ham, and it gives it this dynamic smoky flavor, works really well with the ginger and soy and chilies. And this is an omelet with some caramelized onions, melty cheese, beechwood smoked ham, and a meal in itself.
In addition to several successful restaurants, including Juniper and Ivy in San Diego, Blais also has a James Beard award-winning cookbook. Try this at home. He says the secret to being a great at-home cook is not being afraid to make mistakes.
Have fun with it. Don't worry about specific recipes. Find a food you like fried rice, and say, okay, what's a base recipe for that? How can I add? How can I subtract? A great example is this spaghetti dish, right? Where we've taken something very traditional, pasta with pesto, and instead of basil, we've added broccoli to it. So all of a sudden, we're being incredibly creative. So start with a traditional idea and replace one ingredient, sub something else in, and you're gonna find that you'll be winning challenges at your cook-off block party, so to speak.
Without ever firing up the grill. Bringing you the best of California, I'm Audra Stafford for California Life.
Well, the best military in the world is about to become even more efficient, and the training is happening right here in California. Lessons from the War on Terror are the backbone of a new training program at Camp Pendleton. Soldiers are learning how to better identify a threat in a war zone. It's called Combat Hunter, teaching Marines to think and act like hunters to take out a terrorist before the threat becomes reality. Here's Tom Jordan.
A general store, greetings in the marketplace, games in the street, all the elements of a typical community in war-torn Iraq.
Shots fired, shots fired.
Including a surprise insurgent attack. But this is not Iraq, it's Camp Pendleton, and this is a new training program called Combat Hunter.
We liken it to nowhere to run to, nowhere to hide.
Greg is the combat specialist leading the Marine Corps' most recent innovation of combat training. The former police officer and his team bring a unique skill of observing, profiling, and tracking an enemy target from both city life and big game hunting to the battlefield.
Flak is stuff that we add on to the scenario to make it interesting. It creates an atmosphere where each Marine is a better intel gatherer, a better observer, and definitely has the ability to pick out insurgents and terrorists out of any type of crowd. There we go. Turn down that street, nice and slow.
His group of specially trained Marines are looking for certain behavior sets or domains that trigger a red flag.
The harder a person tries to conceal one of those domains, the more his human behavior characteristics will stick out.
In this scenario, Marines play Iraqi civilians in everyday Iraqi life: soccer, badminton, casual discussion, and the so-called hooligans, those deemed a high-risk priority. Every move, pattern, behavior being watched closely from as far away as 3,000 meters, where Marines with a trained eye are able to see a broader picture and a threat looming on the fringe of town. This man walking with a supposed limp, avoiding attention.
90% of hunting is finding what you're looking for. And then the last 10% is just engaging what you're looking for.
Colonel Fred Padilla says combat hunter training teaches Marines to find their enemies before their enemies strike, even in the confusing fog of war.
This helps to cut through some of that fog and friction, to enable Marines to understand their situation and make the right decisions.
In this exercise, behavior patterns indicate the hooligans here are just a distraction to a larger threat. Remember the man with a limp? Well, now he's attained his place as a sniper, positioned on a nearby rooftop.
3, 2, shots fired, shots fired, shots fired.
A big part of combat hunter training is understanding the Iraqi mindset. The difference between an innocent civilian and a probable threat is key.
Where is Mecca now? Okay, we pray that direction. We do not face each other as we are praying.
We have the missing piece here. We have real Iraqis who have been in Iraq, who've been in Iraqi military and worked side by side with the U.S. forces for the last 3-4 years. So it's more real.
We're not affecting the innocent civilians that are out there. We'll be better at doing that.
Okay, do me a favor, be on the move.
Greg believes this training is doing just that and helping to knock down a major foe, Al-Qaeda.
Al-Qaeda, because they've been faced with combat profiling over the last year, is failing miserably.
Coming up, Wes Parker takes us to a California landmark that served as a set for Hollywood's biggest stars. And I don't just mean celebrities. Find out what I mean when we come back. Welcome back to California Life. Now we're taking you high into the hills of Hollywood to visit one of the most star-studded places in California. It's been a shooting location for tons of Hollywood blockbusters like Transformers, The Terminator, Charlie's Angels Full Throttle, and most recently, Yes Man. But probably the most iconic film shot there was Rebel Without a Cause. And there's even a statue of the film's star, James Dean, located in front of this California landmark. Wes Parker brings you the latest edition of The Good Life at the Griffith Observatory.
Nestled atop Mount Hollywood, the Griffith Park Observatory reopened its doors in November 2006 after being closed for almost 4 years and undergoing a $93 million renovation.
Hello again, everyone. I'm Wes Parker for The Good Life. Today, on a gorgeous Tuesday afternoon, it's hot. The observatory, Griffith Park Observatory, is not opened yet, but as you can see, there's already a big crowd sitting in the shade on a weekday, waiting to get in and see this renovated, beautiful planetarium.
On weekday mornings, the observatory is open exclusively to 5th grade students from around the state, who receive free private tours. The doors open at noon for all other visitors, and at 10 a.m. on weekends. The good news is admission to the observatory is free, as it has been since it opened in 1935. Dr. Ed Krupp, an author and expert in the field of astronomy, has been director of the observatory since 1974.
Colonel Griffith went up to Mount Wilson, which had the largest telescope in the world at the time. It was the 60-inch then. Looked through that telescope and said if everybody could look through that telescope, it would change the world. Well, everybody couldn't look through that telescope, and so Griffith said, I'm going to build one that we can get everybody to look through. And so he had this notion of a public observatory. The idea being that for people to look with their own eyes at the universe was a transforming experience. And that's what we do. We turn visitors into observers.
The only thing we were not able to show you today is what Los Angeles looks like from here at night. There is no better viewing spot than right here, Griffith Park Observatory. So if you come to LA, make sure this is one of your stops in the evening. This is Wes Parker for California Life, bringing you The Good Life.
If you'd like to see that stunning view for yourself, you can get more information at griffithobs.org.
I want to thank you for helping to build this club. This is your club. It will always be your club. And at the end of the day, we'll all leave, and hopefully it's something that you're still very proud of. Right. Listen, this game is something special, and it's become special to me. I didn't grow up in soccer. Played one game, broke my leg in the first minute. Learned to hate it until I actually saw it, participated in it. And what I fell in love was just how social the sport is. We actually build relationships. We have fun together. We watch matches together. We root against each other. But nonetheless, we're together. And that's pretty special. So that's what we're trying to accomplish here in San Diego for all of you and with all of you, is just to create something where we can grow relationships and grow, really grow the game. But the news we wanted to celebrate you with is that we're playing in the 2020 season.
¿Cómo te sientes de ser parte de este proyecto?
Emocionado, mucha pasión de ser parte de este proyecto. Esta ciudad merece un equipo de fútbol profesional en la ciudad. Por fin tenemos el equipo y ojalá que la gente viene para apoyarnos.
I'd say the fans are what faithfulness is all about. You know, there's so many times we come in here and some days you're the best team on the charts, and some days you're just the worst. And no matter what, these fans are always behind the team, always supporting them, always cheering them on, and that's something that means so much to the team itself. And we couldn't thank you guys enough. Just to help lead the charge. So many times there's you know, there's games where they're not doing so hot, and so I think that just having someone to come out there and, you know, be that energy and be that voice that they need when they're struggling is something that I've come in to help out with, and I'm super glad and thankful for for how welcomed I've felt and how much they've welcomed me into the atmosphere, and it's just been an incredible season. I say one of the biggest benefits about being Dodger affiliate is that we get so many rehabbers here. You know, when the Dodgers have people on the IL and people that are injured or players that, you know, are just out for a couple games, they'll come here and play in front of this stadium before they go back to the show. And so I think it's incredible experience for fans to come out and see those big leaguers play in such a small town kind of atmosphere. So we've had 3 so far. 1994 was our first winning season, and then 4 years ago, 2015, and then 2018. So 3 years, 1994, 2015, 2018. So far 3 championships. I think that we're on track for another one, but whether we do or we don't, it's so neat to be able to come out and just realize that, you know, fans come out here for the experience, for the fun, you know, and we've been blessed enough to be able to bring a couple championships home to Rancho. We do it for the fans and for the enjoyment of the game. So many big leaguers, especially Dodgers, you know, if they haven't come out of Quakes, then they've worn a Quakes jersey at some point or another as they've come to rehab or come to play before they go back to the big show if they're on the injured list. So, I mean, there are a couple huge names like Cody Bellinger and Mike Trout and Corey Seager, Chris Taylor that have been here over the years. Just about almost every Dodger has worn a Quakes jersey at one point or another just on rehab appearances alone. I just feel so blessed to be part of this organization. You know, ever since I was, you know, a toddler, I've got pictures of me bouncing on my dad's knee up in the nosebleeds with Tremor in the background. He's the big initial Quake, and then Aftershock, the little brother. You know, fans come out, they love watching them. They love watching the experiences we get to bring them out onto the field and games they get to play. And I'm just honored to be a part of such an incredible organization that really takes pride in their fan entertainment and just really strives to give fans, you know, experience they won't forget, you know, for so long.
Isaiah has dealt with atopic dermatitis since childhood, but as a new college student, he'll be managing the condition on his own for the first time.
It's a severe skin disease that comes with chronic and persistent itching and scratching of the skin until it bleeds sometimes, and there's no cure for it.
A new awareness program aims to educate the public about AD while also offering support to patients living with the condition.
Understand AD is an awareness program supported by Sanofi, Regeneron, and the National Eczema Association, who we are here on behalf of today. The Understand AD squad was a team of experts comprised of a pediatric dermatologist, a psychotherapist, as well as an adult patient peer who's had AD his whole life.
One of the videos on understandad.com shows the squad visiting Isaiah and his family to offer support and share tips to help him manage his disease while living on his own in college. Visit understandad.com to learn more.
And that's it for us. If you missed any part of our show, go to our website, californialifehd.com. See you next time.
Watch us on our YouTube channel. Stay connected to our social media, like our blogs on Facebook. Follow our tweets on Twitter. And check out our posts on Instagram and Pinterest, where we bring you the best of California.